This is so good. I would seriously eat this every day if I could. Aloha friends, and welcome to Eating Richly, where we cook mostly healthy, affordable, family-friendly recipes rich in nutrition and flavor. For those of you who are new here, I'm Diana Johnson, cooking instructor, recipe developer, and lover of all things food. I would so appreciate it if you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and then let's get going because today I'm going to show you how to make 3 creative dinner recipes for Taco Tuesday. You may have seen a while back on our channel that I did a whole longer video on how to make taco soup. This is one of our family's favorite dinner recipes and it truly deserved its own video. But filming that also gave me the idea of putting that taco soup recipe together with a couple other creative taco dinner ideas that I filmed but never before put on YouTube. We have some form of tacos for dinner every Tuesday. My kids love it, and it makes meal planning for the week really easy for me, knowing it's always tacos on Tuesday. We usually do American-style tacos, aka white people tacos, even though I'm actually pretty proficient in Mexican cooking. Once a month or so, I'll get a little more authentic and make a barbacoa, or carnitas, or a really good carne asada. All of those recipes are on eatingrichlly.com if you want to look for them. But the kids also love when I work in some Tex Mex mashups like taco lasagna, taco soup, and taco quesadillas. These are American-style comfort foods made with taco ingredients. So I'm going to show you the basics of making these 3 recipes, and just know that you can check out the taco soup recipe video if you want to go more in-depth on that one. Now let's get cooking, because whether you're cooking with someone, or for yourself, cooking time is connecting time. We're gonna start off with taco lasagna because it's a fun, silly mix of 2 family favorites. You'll need 1 pound of lean ground beef or ground turkey. Cook it in a skillet on medium-high heat, breaking up the meat as you go until you get some nice darker brown bits on the beef. This is called caramelization, and it's what adds the flavor to your meat. Then we're going to add in 1/4 cup of taco seasoning. I'm using my homemade taco seasoning, but you can also use just a packet of store-bought taco seasoning. Then add 1/2 cup of water and 1 can of Mexican corn with the liquid drained off. This can also be called Mexicorn or Fiesta corn. It's basically just canned corn with chopped bell peppers in it. You should be able to find it with the regular canned corn in your local grocery store. Stir everything together and turn the heat down to low to let it simmer for about 5 minutes. Then you're going to dump in 8 ounces of chive and onion flavored cream cheese. Now this is basically cream cheese that has dried onions and dried chives in it. If you can't find that flavor, just use 8 ounces of plain cream cheese and then add in a teaspoon of dried onion flakes or some chopped green onions, whatever you have to add that onion flavor. Stir in the cream cheese and then add 1.5 cups of shredded cheddar jack cheese blend or any shredded Mexican cheese blend. Stir that cheese in and then take your skillet off the heat. Now we're going to start layering our ingredients into a 13x9 baking dish. I spray my dish with a little bit of avocado oil cooking spray, but you can also just rub some oil around inside of the dish to grease it. Dump 1 cup of your favorite salsa into the pan and spread it out. Then lay down 3 no-boil lasagna noodles. Make sure to check the package carefully. It needs to say no boil or no boiling on the box. This means that the lasagna noodles are a little bit thinner and they've actually already been boiled and then dehydrated so that they can just cook in your sauce in your lasagna. Make sure your noodles don't touch the sides of the pan and then top them with 2 cups of that cheesy beef mix. Spread it out to cover the noodles and then spread 3/4 cup of salsa on top of the meat. You're going to repeat this with 3 more noodles, the rest of the beef mix, and another 3/4 cup of salsa. Then place your last 3 noodles on top and spread 2 whole cups of salsa all over to completely cover the noodles. Last but not least, you're going to sprinkle another 1.5 cups of the shredded cheese all over the top of your lasagna. Now you need to cover the dish with foil and bake in an oven that's been preheated to 375 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes. And then you can prepare a salad to go with it, or I like to go and play trains with my kids. After the 30 minutes, carefully peel the foil off and bake it for another 10 minutes until the cheese on top is melted with the edges being a golden brown. At this point, you can top your lasagna with cilantro, sour cream, basically whatever you want, and cut it into squares to serve. It's ridiculously cheesy and great for a crowd or having leftovers. You can even freeze your leftovers into individual portions so that way you'll have easy heat and serve lunches or dinners in the future. Now on to taco soup. In the video, I'm making taco soup in our Instant Pot on the pressure cooker setting. I highly recommend the Instant Pot for quick, easy dinners, and I'll put a link to buy the same one I have on Amazon in the description below. But if you don't have an Instant Pot, you can also cook this in a slow cooker or in a big pot on the stove. For a slow cooker or crock pot, you'll need to cook your meat and onion in a skillet on the stove first and then transfer it to the crock pot. For a pot on the stove, you just need a really big pot, and you can cook the meat and onion in that just like we do with the Instant Pot. Just know that the Instant Pot is the fastest method for making the taco soup. First up, you're going to need to chop an onion. Peel your onion and slice it in half through the top and the bottom. Then make a slice almost all the way through each onion half, leaving everything attached at the base. Now you're going to point your knife toward the base and slice a bunch of slits that again don't quite go to the end. Finally, you're ready to start chopping. Just be careful toward the end of the onion because your knife can slip off of that rounded end and onto your fingers. I flip it over and slice off the round part, then flip it back and keep chopping. Now it's time to cook your meat. I use ground beef, but you could also use ground turkey or chicken. Break up the meat and cook it until some brown bits start to stick to your pot. Just like with the taco lasagna, those brown bits are the caramelization that give you flavor. Then mix in your chopped onion and let it all cook for about 5 minutes until the onion is a little soft. In the Instant Pot, you're doing this part on the saute setting. After this, the taco soup is just a dump and go recipe. You're going to add corn, black beans, kidney beans, diced tomatoes with green chilies or plain diced tomatoes if you don't want it spicy, tomato sauce, and taco seasoning. You can use 1 packet of store-bought seasoning or about a 1/4 cup of my homemade seasoning on eatingrichly.com. And you don't need to drain the corn or beans, just dump everything in, then mix it together and you're ready to cook. In the Instant Pot, you're gonna set the lid to sealing and cook it for 20 minutes on manual high pressure. In a slow cooker, you're gonna cook it on low for 8 hours or high for 4 hours. If you're cooking this on the stove, put a lid on your pot and cook it on low heat for an hour, stirring pretty regularly to make sure the bottom doesn't burn. Honestly, you're not going to get the same depth of flavor with the stove method, but it's still good. Once your soup is done, you can dress it up with your favorite taco toppings. We love sour cream and cheddar cheese. You can also add green onions or cilantro, crushed up tortilla chips, or even some mashed avocado. And while you can definitely eat the soup with a spoon, our family likes using tortilla strips for spoons. And this taco soup is another recipe that's great for a large group or for freezing in individual portions for easy heat and serve meals later down the road. Now for our final recipe of the day. This one is taking a quesadilla, which is a heated tortilla with melted cheese inside, and adding all of the best taco ingredients. Before you make your taco quesadilla, you will need to cook up some taco meat. You could just get a package of taco seasoning from the store and follow the directions on the package with a pound of ground beef or ground turkey. Or if you're using homemade taco seasoning, just brown your meat in a skillet, then add about a quarter cup of the taco seasoning and half a cup of water, stir it, bring the heat to medium, and then let it simmer for about 5 minutes until most of the water has cooked off. You'll also need some pico de gallo, which is a fresh tomato and onion salsa that I do have a recipe for on eatingrichly.com, but you can usually buy it in the produce section of most grocery stores. Now on to the taco quesadilla. Place a tortilla in a skillet on medium heat and add half a cup of Mexican-style cheese. Then top the cheese with half a cup of cooked taco meat, some pico de gallo, and another half cup of cheese. Place a second tortilla on top, then let your quesadilla cook for a few minutes until the bottom tortilla is crispy and golden and the cheese on the bottom is melted. Flip your quesadilla over and cook another few minutes to crisp up the other tortilla and melt the last of the cheese. I have a really big flipping spatula that I love to use for this, but a regular sized spatula or some tongs can totally work too. Now place your quesadilla onto a plate and slice it into wedges. Next, add your favorite taco toppings. I used guacamole, sour cream, chopped tomatoes, sliced olives, and chopped lettuce. And there is your amazingly cheesy taco quesadilla. This is so good. I would seriously eat this every day if I could. So there you have it. Taco soup, taco lasagna, and taco quesadillas to switch up your Taco Tuesday dinners. Let me know in the comments which one you're excited to try. I love hearing from you. I truly read every comment. I get so excited whenever I have one, unless it's mean. That's not nice. Please don't. Because remember, whether it's with me in the comments or out in the world, you can be real and be kind. And if you're still hungry, here is my ultimate avocado chicken salad toast and a salmon recipe that cooks up in just 10 minutes. And I'll see you in the next video. Cook your meat and your onion in a skillet on Cook your meat and your onion in a skillet on the stove